The Bonnie Banks o' Loch Lomond, or simply Loch Lomond for short, is a well-known traditional Scottish song first published in 1841 in Vocal Melodies of Scotland. In Scotland, the song is often the final piece of music played during an evening of revelry. The song has been recorded by many performers over the years, including the rock band AC/DC, jazz singer Maxine Sullivan, the Mudmen, and Scottish-Canadian punk band the Real McKenzies. Both Runrig and Quadriga Consort used to perform Loch Lomond as their concert's final song. Lyrics, by yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love were ever wont to gae, in the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Chorus, O ye'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye, where me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted, in by yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side of Ben Lomond, where, deep in purple hue, the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. Chorus, the wee birdies sing and the wild flowers spring, and in sunshine waters lie sleeping. But the broken-hearted kens, nay second spring again, though the waeful may cease free their greeting. Chorus. Origins, the original composer is unknown, as is definitive information on any traditional lyrics. Scots tradition and belief is that when a Scot dies his/her soul spirit shall travel to Scotland before passing on to the next world, which is called the low road in the song. The high road belongs to the living and the low road to the dead. The song goes, you take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland before ye, but me and my true love will never meet again. This part of the song emphasizes the death of the one who travels the low road. The lyrics most commonly known are not the original, which is based on a Jacobean lament written after the Battle of Culloden. The second verse goes as weal may I weep, oh yet dreams in my sleep, we stood bride and bridegroom together, but his arms and his breath were as cold as the earth and his heart's blood ran red in the heather. Interpretation. There are many theories about the meaning of the song, most of which are connected to the Jacobite uprising of 1745. One interpretation based on the lyrics is that the song is sung by the lover of a captured Jacobite rebel set to be executed in London following a show trial. The heads of the executed rebels were then set upon pikes and exhibited in all of the towns between London and Edinburgh in a procession along the high road, while the relatives of the rebels walked back along the low road. Another interpretation of the low road is that it refers to the traditional underground route taken by the fairies or little people who were reputed to transport the soul of a dead Scot who died in a foreign land, in this case, England, back to his homeland to rest in peace. Another similar interpretation also attributes it to a Jacobite Highlander captured after the 1745 Rising. The Hanoverian British victors were known to play cruel games on the captured Jacobites, and would supposedly find a pair of either brothers or friends and tell them one could live and the other would be executed, and it was up to the pair to decide. Thus the interpretation here is that the song is sung by the brother or friend who chose or was chosen to die. He is therefore telling his friend that they will both go back to Scotland, but he will go on the low road, his body being paraded along the main road controlled by the Duke of Cumberland's forces, whereas his friend will have to head for the hilltops, taking longer to get back. Another supporting feature of this is that he states he will never meet his love again in the temporal world, on Loch Lomond. Some believe that this version is written entirely to a lover who lived near the loch. A related interpretation holds that a professional soldier and a volunteer were captured by the English in one of the small wars between the countries in the couple of hundred years prior to 1746. Volunteers could accept parole, a release contingent on the volunteers' refusal to rejoin the fighting, but regulars could not and so could face execution. The volunteer would take the high road that linked London and Edinburgh, while the soul of the executed regular would return along the low road, and would get back to Scotland first. Andrew Lang about 1876, the Scottish poet and folklorist Andrew Lang wrote a poem based on the song titled The Bonnie Banks o' Loch Lomond. The title sometimes has the date 1746 appended, the year of the defeat of Bonnie Prince Charlie's rebellion and the hanging of some of his captured supporters. Lang's poem begins, "There's an ending o' the dance, and fair Morag's safe in France, and the clans they who paid the lawing, Morriga Grade 1 in Gaelic referred to Bonnie Prince Charlie, who fled to France after his forces were defeated. Loring means reckoning in Scots. The poem continues, and the waddy has her ain, and we twa left alane, frio Carlisle jail in the doing. Waddy means hangmana s rope, according to Lang's own notes on the poem. Doing is dawn. The poem continues with the song's well-known chorus, then explains why the narrator and his true love will never meet again, for my love's heart breaken twa, when she kenned the cause is far, and she sleeps where there's never nane shall waken. The poem's narrator vows to take violent revenge on the English, while there's heather on the hill shall my vengeance ne'er be still, while a bush hides the glint o' a gun, lad. We the men o' Sergeant Maher shall I work to pay the score, till I wither on the waddy in the sun, lad. Sergeant Maher is John Du Cameron, a supporter of Bonnie Prince Charlie who continued fighting as an outlaw until he was hanged in 1753. Arrangements and recordings. Loch Lomond has been arranged and recorded by many composers and performers over the years, in styles ranging from traditional Scottish folk to barbershop to rock and roll. In 1921, the English composer Ralph Vaughan Williams, a keen collector and arranger of English folk music, arranged Loch Lomond as a parts song for an unaccompanied four-part male voice choir with baritone solo. Jazz singer Maxine Sullivan had a hit with a swing adaptation of Loch Lomond in 1937. At his 1938 Carnegie Hall concert, Benny Goodman swung this song with Martha Tilton singing. The audience demanded an encore so heartily that, none being ready, Goodman announced that Tilton would be back later with another song. At the 1978 anniversary concert, Tilton had a guest appearance, singing the song in a duet with Goodman. In 1957, Bill Haley and his Comets recorded a popular rock and roll version retitled Loch Lomond. In the early 1960s, the Ramrods, an American instrumental rock group, recorded a rocked-up version called Loch Lomond Rock. Noted concert band composer Frank T. Shelley composed a song called Loch Lomond, based on the original, in 2002. The song is featured in the 1946 film The Green Years, based on the novel of the same title by Scots author A.J. Cronin. In the Brady Bunch Season 2 Episode 16 The Drummer Boy, it is sung by Peter, Jan and Cindy Brady. Loch Lomond was featured on the American television program The Lawrence Welk Show in 1972, in which it was sung by Jack Immel, Bobby Burgess, Mary Lou Metzger and Cissy King. The Australian hard rock group AC/DC, whose members have Scottish origins and roots, released an instrumental version of the song titled Fling Thing on the B-side of the Jailbreak single in 1976. They also performed it live as Bonnie, in which the band plays the music while the crowd sings the verse. Rhythm of My Heart is a rock song written by Mark Jordan and John Cape for Rod Stewart's 1991 album Vagabond Heart. The melody is an adaptation of Loch Lomond. The meter, stanzas and lyrics are also based on the poem, a nod to Stewart's own Scottish heritage. The progressive rock band Marillion played the song with their former singer Fish in the 1980s, as part of a medley called Margaret, which also featured another traditional song, Marie's Wedding. A live version can be found on BSIDES themselves, recorded at Edinburgh Playhouse in December 1983. The melody is used at the beginning of the song El Hijo del Blues from the 1994 self-titled album by Spanish folk metal group Ma Currency Go Dios. Scottish folk rock band Runrig have made the song their unofficial anthem, closing their concerts with a rendition for over 25 years. They also had a top 10 hit with a re-recorded version in 2007, released for BBC Children in Need, hitting number 9 in the whole of the UK and number 1 in Scotland. Canadian punk band Real McKenzies recorded their own version of Loch Lomond on their 1995 debut album The Real McKenzies in their own Scottish-influenced Celtic punk styling. The lyrics are parodied by Tenacious D at the end of their song Wonderboy. The lead singer of American group The Fray has also been known to do the chorus at gigs in Edinburgh while supporting The Feeling, and most recently their gig in Glasgow in October 2007. The reason for this appears to be that his grandfather is Scottish. Dan Zan's album Catch That Train features a version of the song in which he splits the vocal credits with Natalie Merchant. The film The Last King of Scotland features the song sung by the Nizonga Singers. Serbian band Orthodox Celts recorded a version which featured Serbian actress Ana Sofanovia, released on their album The Celts Strike Again. The song is featured in the track A Very British Tribute on the Royal Celebration album by the Band of the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards and the Band of the Coldstream Guards. The series Smallville used the tune for a non-existent folk song called The Burks of St Kilda played by a clock as a clue for finding a relic that activated a piece of alien technology. The science fiction television program Farscape used the song in part of the score. The Celtic rock band Off Kilter included a version on their 2005 album Kick It. David Knopfler played the tune as an intro to his Scottish-inspired song, When Grandpapa Sailed in 1984 on his album Cut the Wire. Mark Knopfler played the tune as an intro to his Scottish-inspired song, What It Is in 2001, then in the middle of the song in 2002 and 2005. Canadian rock band the Mudmen covered the song on their album The High Road released in 2009. Golden Bough covered the song on their 2009 album Celtic Love Songs. The tune is used in a song sung by the Scottish Terrier Jock in the Disney film Lady and the Tramp. The song is sung by Mr. Skeck in Hey Arnold. The movie. The tune is used by German football club 1. FC Car Paragraph LN in their anthem Mehrstuns oder FC Car Paragraph Le. The song is in Ripurian dialect. The German folk metal band Swedakra used Loch Lomond's melody in their 2005 song Dead Man's Real. The song is sung by Monty and his father in Spike Lee's film The 25th Hour. The song is referenced in HBO's Boardwalk Empire. Eli's friend sings, And I'll Be in Scotland Before Ye. The song is played by the University of Notre Dame Marching Band's baritone horn section before every home game. The band Emily's Army covered the song, which is featured on their album Don't Be a Dick. The Scottish music duo, Two Men in Skirts featuring Gately and Jim Stevenson Matthews covered the song on their album The Music of Scotland released in 2009. Other performers include, Paul Robeson, with Harriet Wingreen on piano. John Barrowman. The Corries. Matt Magine, John McDermott. Moira Kerr and the King's Singers. The song is sung in the BBC TV series Cranford by the character played by Julia Sawalha. Media. Red is the Rose, the Irish variant of the song is called Red is the Rose, and is sung with the same melody but different lyrics. It was popularised by Irish folk musician Tommy Makeham. Even though many people mistakenly believe that Makeham wrote Red is the Rose, it is a traditional Irish folk song. The chorus of Red is the Rose is, Red is the rose that in yonder garden grows, and fair is the lily of the valley, clear are the waters that flow from the Boyne, but my love is fairer than any. This version was also reworked by the Scottish musician Alistair MacDonald, who set it by Loch Lomond too. This chorus was, Red is the rose, that on mony a briar grows, and white blooms the lily see bonny, and clear is the water that flows down Lomond's braes, but my lass is fairer than any. Lyrics equals. Come over the hill, my bonny Irish lass, come over the hill to your darling, you chose a rose love and I have made a vow, that she'll be my true love forever. Chorus, Red is the rose by yonder garden grows, and fair is the lily of the valley, clear is the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is fairer than any. 'Tis down by Killarney's green woods that we strayed, and the moon and the stars they were shining, the moon shone its rays on her locks of golden hair, and she swore she'd be my love forever. Repeat chorus. It's not for the parting that my sister pains, it's not for the grief of my mother, it is all for the loss of my bonny Irish lass, that my heart is breaking forever. Repeat chorus. Notes. References, Lang, Andrew. Philip, Peter Eric. Complete Poems of Andrew Lang, The Essential Library 2. Essential Library. Pages 235. ISBN 978-0-7388-2837-4.